barely any organizations in the ghastliness world have acquired as much notoriety as dark screen harrowing tales. Stripped down to their most fundamental parts, story and sound, these recordings are a demonstration of the force of creative mind. They charm a large number of watchers with no viewable signals, depending just on suggestive stories to instigate dread. This style prepared for well-known channels, for example, Mortis Media, which represented considerable authority in bringing these shockingly tranquil and environmental stories to crowds. For the individuals who love to be calmed to rest by shocking tales or the excitement of driving their brain into the obscure, dark screen shocking tales offer a startlingly viable encounter. What makes dark screen shocking tales so convincing? In a classification generally overwhelmed by grim visuals, butchery and hot terrifies, these recordings adopt a moderate strategy. Rather than depending on visuals, they threaten the crowd through air sounds, scary portrayal and dreadful impacts. Crowds are abandoned with their minds and the completely dark screen, allowed to envision each frightening scene and character. The shortfall of visual components permits the brain to go crazy, making a remarkably private encounter that resounds profoundly with the watcher. One of the most fascinating parts of this kind is the means by which viable it is with base feelings of trepidation. Since dark screen harrowing tales depend exclusively on sound, the crowd is compelled to draw in with the story on a tactile level. The brain fills in the spaces, frequently making pictures and situations far more alarming than anything the screen can show. It is both a profoundly private and generally frightening experience. One of the most famous makers of the class, Mortis Media, has set up a good foundation for itself as a force to be reckoned with for cool narrating. Mortis Media's dark screen shocking tales cover a scope of subjects, from paranormal experiences to upsetting genuine stories, and are many times presented by the actual crowd. With every story described by Mortis' profound, full voice, the channel makes a close encounter that causes audience members to feel like they are important for the story. The basic dark screen compared with Mortis accounts makes a scary sensation of segregation, catching the crowd in their own considerations as the story unfurls. Mortis Media isn't the only one. Creeps McPaster, Mr. Channels like Bad Dream and B. Buster additionally works in dark screen shocking tales, each with its own particular style. Some emphasis on more limited, more keen stories that move a fast panic, while others plunge into long, air stories that are ideally suited for late evening tuning in. These channels serve as diversion, yet in addition as a local area for repulsiveness fans where fans can share their encounters, examine hypotheses, and even submit stories to be highlighted in ongoing recordings. In the present occupied world, many individuals go to ghastliness for unwinding. It might sound irrational, yet dark screen shocking tales are turning out to be increasingly more well known as startling sleep time stories. These recordings have turned into a staple for audience members who partake in a rush of energy prior to nodding off. A mitigating yet feverish story gives foundation commotion that replaces run-of-the-mill interruptions, making a remarkably captivating yet loosening up experience. Paying attention to shocking tales before bed offers an adrenaline rush that prompts further and more soothing rest for some. This kind draws in audience members with its straightforwardness. Not at all like high-energy blood and gore movies or tense spine chillers, dark screen harrowing tales offer a more slow, more environmental development. This makes them ideal for individuals who need to tune in without expecting to straightforwardly screen or communicate. They are ideally suited for lying in bed with the lights off, paying attention to terrifying stories in obscurity. Audience members frequently report that these accounts provide them with a feeling of solace and permit them to investigate dread in a controlled climate. Clinicians and dread specialists have long noticed that what we can't see is frequently more terrifying than our best. Dark screen harrowing tales utilize this guideline for their potential benefit, playing on our normal anxiety toward the unexplored world. By eliminating the visuals, they take a subtle approach with everything. Each squeak, murmur and reverberation takes on a unique kind of energy, rejuvenating the story such that feels genuine and quick. A vivid sound encounter improves this impact. Numerous makers add unobtrusive foundation sounds, like far-off strides, calm breathing, or weak stirring, to fabricate pressure. These little sound subtleties cause audience members to feel like they are important for the story, as though something is hiding just past their view. The blend of exciting story and audio effects is sufficient to make the experience profoundly upsetting. Also, dark screen shocking tales address normal apprehensions, being distant from everyone else, hearing something strange in obscurity, or feeling like you're being followed. These are center apprehensions that reverberate on a mental level, causing the tales to feel interesting and genuine. For some purposes, the class even fills in as a type of restorative openness to fear, permitting them to confront uneasiness in a controlled manner. The people group perspective is a significant piece of the dark screen frightfulness peculiarity. Many channels like Mortis Media urge audience members to present their accounts, encouraging a local area of shared dread and interest. Fans frequently remark on recordings, having comparable encounters or examining the subtleties of every story. This feeling of local area makes the class seriously captivating, yet additionally causes repulsiveness to feel more private, as genuine individuals present their accounts for others to encounter. This people group-based approach additionally adds a component of credibility to the narratives. A large number report that genuine introductions are more startling than fictitious ones since they have a quality of authenticity. A portion of these accounts might be metropolitan legends, while others depend on real occasions that individuals have encountered. The mutual sharing of stories, whether truth or fiction, adds to a feeling of having a place, giving fans a spot to draw in with their adoration for frightfulness genuinely. The outcome of dark screen shocking tales features an adjustment of shocking tales. As crowds become more refined, they look for loathsomeness encounters that go past leap panics and realistic symbolism. Dark screen loathsomeness offers a cerebral and vivid experience that permits the psyche to assume a main part in making dread. This change mirrors a more extensive pattern with dismay, where nuance and mental dread are esteemed more than carnage and enhancements. Repulsiveness content makers on YouTube keep on pushing the limits, exploring different avenues regarding better approaches to draw in and alarm their watchers. Channels like Mortis Media are a demonstration of the persevering through allure of the class, demonstrating that frightfulness is all the more impressive when taken a subtle approach with. With negligible assets, dark screen harrowing tales have found tremendous crowds by taking advantage of profound mental feelings of trepidation and advising us that occasionally the most frightening stories are the ones we make to us. As dark screen shocking tales keep on acquiring ubiquity, they are reshaping how we might interpret what makes a story unnerving. They gave frightfulness fans a one-of-a-kind, vivid method for encountering ghastliness, and in the process constructed a flourishing web-based local area of audience members who couldn't get enough. With makers like Mortis Media driving the way, the class indicates that things are not pulling back. Most would agree that dark screen shocking tales will keep on tormenting our minds, each upsetting story in turn.